Private Members' Business, Notice Number 4, motion relating to the Great Ocean Road.
I call the member for Corangamite.
I move the motion relating to the Great Ocean Road in the terms in which it appears on the notice paper.
Is there a seconder for the motion?
I'll second the motion.
The motion is seconded. I call the member for Corangamite.
Mr Deputy Speaker, the Great Ocean Road is one of our most iconic tourist attractions. For overseas tourists, the rock, the reef and the road are the three must-sees. So may I begin my address by issuing a call to arms for both Australians and those planning a visit to Australia alike. Come to the Great Ocean Road and take one of the best road trips you will find anywhere in the world. Mr Deputy Speaker, I speak with enormous pride about the Great Ocean Road. It is the centrepiece of a regional tourism industry which delivers $2.1 billion to the Australian economy. It supports thousands of local jobs and it is of enormous historical significance. And let's not forget the importance of tourism to our national economy. Tourism is our largest services export, with international visitor consumption of $26 billion, representing over 8% of total Australian exports. The Great Ocean Road is the world's largest war memorial. As I spoke about in my first speech in this place, it is a road which begins in Torquay and weaves its way past magnificent surfing beaches, including the iconic Bells Beach, national parks, rugged sandstone and limestone cliffs and white beaches, through vibrant coastal communities, places like Anglesey, Aries Inlet, Lorne and Apollo Bay, to Cape Otway and beyond, all the way to the 12 Apostles. It is a journey made possible by the sweat and toil of returned soldiers of the Great War who built this iconic road between 1919 and 1932. These days, 1.7 million tourists travel the Great Ocean Road each year. It has a special place in my own life. Every Easter, as a young family, we would take the trek down the Great Ocean Road to stay in the Wye River Caravan Park. There we would camp by the river and eat more Easter eggs than desirable, which made the trip home along that windy road particularly perilous. Much of the Great Ocean Road winds along the coast in my electorate of Corangamite, perhaps, might I say, Mr Deputy Speaker, the most beautiful electorate in the country. It was also with great pride that our government has committed $25 million to the upgrade of the Great Ocean Road, matched by another $25 million from the Victorian government. This is not just an investment in tourism, but in jobs, road safety and our regional economy. That is why building the roads of the 21st century, the infrastructure for the future, is so important. This upgrade over 5 years will fund important maintenance works, road surface maintenance, improvements to roadside cuttings and drainage, restoration of structures such as bridges, culverts and retaining walls, and resurfacing. This is basic but vitally important works. On this point, I must pay credit to the G21 Geelong Region Alliance, which led the campaign to upgrade the road, the Oh My Great Ocean Road campaign. The 5 councils represented by G21, the G21 board and particularly the CEO, Elaine Carbines, all played an important role. The upgrade garnered widespread support from business, local residents and, importantly, local tourism bodies led by the likes of Roger Grant and Rex Brown. They understood how important this was to our regional economy. Mr Deputy Speaker, very unfortunately the only ones against the upgrade were the Labor Party and the former member for Corangamite, Darren Cheeseman. It was one thing to be against it, but Labor ran a dishonest and deceitful campaign in an attempt to score cheap political points. Mr Cheeseman claimed incredulously that the Liberals were planning to dynamite the cliff tops to prevent rockfalls and widen the road. And I draw your attention particularly to a story in the Geelong Independent, Liberals to dynamite Ocean Road, says MP, on the 26th of July 2013. Mr Cheeseman also falsely claimed we were planning to build a 4-lane freight highway. This level of dishonesty was unfortunately characteristic of the sort of campaign that Labor ran in Corangamite, and frankly, Mr Deputy Speaker, I was shocked. So were many community leaders who were stunned by the antics of their then local federal member of parliament. In arguing the federal government should play no role in maintaining or investing in the Great Ocean Road, Darren Cheeseman failed to stand up for his community, and federal Labor turned its back on one of the nation's most important tourism attractions. The road is listed on the National Heritage Register, and that is important. But again, we saw Labor fall down badly over its campaign to include the road on the World Heritage Register. Labor did not do some basic research. Under the current criteria, an operational road would not be eligible. As a strong local voice, I fought very hard for this funding, as did my good friend, the member for Wannon, of course, being the home of the 12 Apostles. And it was with great pride that we joined the Prime Minister and the Victorian Roads Minister, Terry Moulder, to announce our $50 million election commitment last August. Mr Deputy Speaker, work is already underway to deliver on this important commitment. I took part in a range of community consultation sessions in Anglesea, Lorne and Apollo Bay, and that was an incredibly important opportunity for our community and for the vital communities along the coastal region to have their say, to give their input, to provide their feedback on the works they wanted to see on the Great Ocean Road. We have ensured that $15 million of federal funding for the upgrade will be brought forward to this financial year. Again, Mr Deputy Speaker, this is symbolic of our commitment that we are getting on with the job. On the 1st of December last year, the Victorian Roads Minister and I announced a $1.2 million upgrade along a 2-kilometre stretch of road in Lorne between Stony Creek and the roundabout at Deans Marsh Road. And then, on the 16th of December, Prime Minister Tony Abbott visited Anglesea to announce a $1.8 million upgrade in that town. My friend, the member for Wannon, has also made an announcement in his electorate. Again, Mr Deputy Speaker, a very strong reminder that not only have we made this commitment, we are getting on with the job of delivering, and we are doing it now. Mr Deputy Speaker, our commitment to the Great Ocean Road is just part of the story. In conjunction with the state government, the work is already underway to duplicate the Princes Highway between Warn Ponds and Winchelsea, a $171 million project. And the vital planning is underway to duplicate the next section of the Princes Highway, a $515 million project. The duplication of the Princes Highway is incredibly important for our region. It will drive economic prosperity, business confidence, and it will link the towns of Winchelsea, Birregurra, Colac and beyond. Mr Deputy Speaker, you might remember a number of years ago the then opposition leader, Mr Abbott, visited that stretch of road and had a very near call. There have been many very tragic stories on that road, and I am incredibly proud of our commitment to duplicating that road. Of course, our government has also committed $1.5 billion to Melbourne's East-West Link, a critically important project for south-west Victoria. What this will do, Mr Deputy Speaker, is open up south-west Victoria, stop the quagmire that is currently happening when commuters in Geelong are trying to reach Melbourne and they have what is no less than a car park in the lead-up to the Westgate Bridge. So again, a very important infrastructure project for our region, and one, very unfortunately, that Labor is opposing. Mr Deputy Speaker, the federal government, led by our Infrastructure Prime Minister Tony Abbott, is getting on with the important job of building the roads of the 21st century. I commend this motion to the House.